If you're seeing this when there's a 1, a 4, or a 7 in the time, then this could be for you. Or if there's a number of greater significance to you in the time or on the screen. Or if a storm is a brewing about where you're at, or one has freshly brewed and dumped, this could be for you. Or if you've had cilantro or parsley in the past 2 days, or if you're procrastinating taking a little bath or doing a little bit of self-care, good news for you. I'm gonna be yapping for a bit, so you can go ahead and get started and get cozy. Take care. Yo, it's dumping out there, and that is some. The trees are bending. The trees are bending. The trees are bending. The amount of synchronicities you had lined up can correspond to the amount of which this is for you. Also, if you wore pink today, or you drank out of anything yellow in the past 24 hours. Even if your mug just had like a little bit of yellow on it or something, or your straw was, I don't know. This could be for you. But we do this here for funsies and heavily for the ASMR, so don't take any of this too seriously. Some of you might have also been seeing some baby bunnies, or just some more bunnies than usual recently. Okay. Right off the bat, there's something about like some magical opening at dawn for you. So let's read into this a little bit more, but it seems like either you're going to be like kind of naturally waking up more early, or just something about that dawn sunshine. You're going to be finding something there that you've been looking for. Some energy reserve or something. Or some inspiration or clarity. Green Witch. Potentially changing up your tea you're drinking, or maybe you drink a lot of coffee and it might be nice to kind of add some more tea in somewhere. I promise not all tea's the same. You'll find a tea you love if you don't already have one. But a lot of you are going to kind of be diving into trying some more teas and some different concoctions for yourself. Community garden and moon milk. Hold up. Okay. Some of you might be, maybe you work at you're like a barista or something, or maybe you make like drinks for people on the farmer's market, something like that. This is for a smaller group of y'all, and it's gonna be different for a lot of you, but let's see here. Oh, and we have Aquarius. Okay, something about the drinks you're making are mad magical, yo. If you're like a barista or a little, you make drinks for someone else, don't forget to add some magical little love and intention there. Just sprinkle a bit for whoever that is drinking it. It seems like, hold up, you might remind someone kind of the moon. Also, there is nothing like the medicine that comes from the ritual of yourself. So it seems like there's just someone, I don't know, someone special in your life, and I think they would like this little adventuring into different drink making too, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's really sweet. I think some of you already make drinks for people close to you, and that's why this is coming up. But also it seems like that's something that maybe whether you're trying to cut back on sugary drinks or something, that seems like something that's going to be very, very magical and beneficial to you, the people around you, your mindfulness and intention. It's going to help while you're adding your intention and love into your tea, that's going to help remind you to do so outside of your drink making too. Aries and Aquarius, it's not often that we get multiple signs in a read, let alone have them split and the same. Alright, so with the Aquarius, we've got all are capable of dreaming, but it is those who surrender to vision who are visionaries. And then the Aries, you're being called to step into the flame with an ignited vision of your desires. Time is of the essence. Some of you, I really feel like you're like opening a tea shop or something, which is so cute. That is so cute. Or maybe you're spending more time in a tea shop and you're kind of building some kind of community there. It seems like so for some of you. Some of you are like, man, I wanna meet some friends. That'd be nice. You go just sit yourself in a tea shop for a bit. Maybe go once a week. You'll run into someone very soon enough, yo. I think the first time you're there, you're gonna hit it off with someone. Anyway, whether that's whoever's making your tea, or if it's vice versa, maybe you'll have, like, if you work somewhere where you make, like, drinks, I think you're gonna have, like, a new regular that you just love interacting with them when they come in. You're like, yes, doesn't even feel like work when they're chilling here with me. Type of vibe. That's cute. That's wholesome. I'll tell you what's not wholesome though. This storm is the amount of water falling from the sky right now. You had Rebirth here as well with the flame in your literal. Last card talking about you're being called to step into the flame with an ignited vision of your desires. Time is of the essence. So you've got some things that you're thinking about and you're excited about. And once you really decide and let yourself like, yes, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna wait for a better day, a more comfortable day, a day where I have more energy. I'm gonna let it energize me just by deciding to do this thing. This is gonna be an energy that's pretty fast moving and fast paced, which if you've been having like lower energy, that might be like, oh, well, I don't know if I could keep up with that. You absolutely can, because it's gonna be fast paced because of you, because of your energy. You're gonna get into this thing and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can work on this all the time. I'm so excited to go to the, you know what I mean? So don't worry about that. Don't worry about the pace, because you're gonna be setting it, and you're gonna have this newfound wellspring of energy. Collecting seeds, remember that what was once planted has grown, and now it's time to sow new seeds. So stepping out somewhere new. Ooh, we also have aquamarine here. Okay. And craftsmanship. So you got some things that are like already grown. They're ready for you to like harvest them, and you've kind of been waiting, and you're like, should I? Harvest them, because you harvesting them is going to help you actually show you like, oh, okay, now that you've harvested this sunflower, you take out the seeds and you plant them over here. Like, you might think that that's an ending stage, so you've been putting it off because you're like, oh, I don't want to say goodbye, or I don't want to, you know what I mean? But harvest it up. That is gonna give you like new insight on where to plant your new seeds. But also, something about when you're kind of deciding where to plant new seeds, there's something about like a blue energy, like whether that's like you have a blue painting you've been working on, or you've got some blue yarn you've been wanting to use, or someone feels like a really bright blue energy to you. Something about these next steps, or where you're going to be planting these next seeds, the energy's going to feel blue to you, okay? Something about your craft is going to be extra blue. Oh. Okay. Also having, so you got hand over your known and a shift is near. Take a leap, your journey is clear. Like we had that clarity at the beginning there. When you really decide to go for this thing, I feel like is when it's gonna get clear. Like after you were like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is the right decision, you make the jump, and immediately after you make the jump, everything's gonna be clear. It's gonna be so much more clear than it would have been if you were just like standing on this ledge being like, oh, I don't know, but then all of a sudden you jump and you're like, oh, I can see what's about. Floromancy. It's time to escape all the noise and become still with the guidance that is pulling you inward. I also feel like you might be inspired by flowers. You might really like flowers, or at this time of your life, just sitting around flowers just makes you feel some type of way. Feel into those some type of ways, okay? What are those things for you? Is it aromatherapy? Is it sitting out watching the rain or a storm go by? Making yourself and your loved ones delicious teas full of love and magic, yo? Look what we were literally caught out here. Nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. We also had rooted. May you never tear the living ritual that is magic, merged within the roots of your being, the soul of your soil, the soil of your soul. Something from the past that kind of felt like you had to like tear up your little magical roots. At some point, you know, when we're young, we believe in all the amazing magics, you know what I'm saying? Because we can imagine it. So if we can imagine it, if you can imagine it, you can experience it in your dreams, for sure. So maybe some of you like used to have like more magical dreams when you were younger, and you thought that you know, the world didn't like nurture that around you, or people didn't express to you like how magical and useful that space is. So you might have kind of like torn up those roots, or this could not just pertaining to like dream space, although dreams did come up, but some memory from the past before you kind of tore up those roots for whatever reason. You're like looking back and like, man, if only I saw life, how magical that, you know what I mean? If I could live back in that moment, I'd really appreciate it in all its beauty. You, right now, you live in this moment and appreciate this moment for its beauty, because there's going to be days ahead, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 months, where you're going to look back at this moment and be like, man, you're going to think that same thing about it. You know what I mean, Jellybean? So, live in the now. Okay. Appreciate the now. You still got to experience those magical experiences in your past, and now, if you so choose, to start growing back those magical roots, which it definitely seems like a lot of y'all have, like who are here, because Because especially since a lot of you have some like magical drink making biz about you. Some magical drink discoveries being made here. Exactly. Oracle, we got some magical peeps up in here. You've been growing your magical roots back. I'm so hyped for you. I'm so hyped. Spirits of other worlds, tell me tales of the unknown. Tell me tales of the forbidden. We have a bit of a... You want to know what the line is. You know what I mean, Jellybean? You're the type of person that wants to... Oh, just curious, but where's the line I'm not supposed to cross? I like that. I like that for you. It seems like it's gotten you into trouble, but I like it for you. You've got it for a reason. When all seems to stem from the unknown, hold firm in knowing that all will be as it should. Okay. I don't think maybe in the past the unknown kind of gave you more anxiety, but right now, at least some of these new unknown territories that are you're gonna be happening upon, I don't think they're gonna make you anxious. I think your excitement for it is definitely going to kind of override any anxiety, which is good, because the less you're anxious in your mind, the weller you are, you know what I mean? And the more time you spend out of that energy, the easier it is, alright? So even if you can trick your little mind, personally, I think anxiety is the trick, but if you've lived so long in anxiety that it feels like a trick when you're outside of it, even if you just trick yourself for 5 minutes, you set a 5-minute alarm. I will not have anxiety in this 5 minutes. Anything that pops up that gives me anxiety, I'm gonna be like, oh, thanks for showing yourself, and carry on. Whether you have to do like a little craft while you do this, or maybe we had floromancy here, so maybe you sit with some flowers, go take a little walk and see what all flowers people have planted nowadays. Peonies, maybe go take a visit to some peonies. You also have It Is Time to Reap Your Rewards. Settle in for a ride with Lady Luck. Ooh, and mischief. Hold up, what's with this mischief? I want to know. Do you want to know? I want to know. What's with this mischief? Okay. Oh, that one came out. Oh. Peculiar. Excellent, though. Against your will, there will not be no entrance, no welcoming. Be gone. Okay, so you're kind of worried about some kind of mischief seeping its way in. But as much power as you give it is as much power as you give it. And yeah, that's easier said than done in some cases, you know? Kind of taking control of your mind and not getting overrun by it, or overrun by the anxiety or the mischiefs of the world. But this is certainly something you can do, and something you don't have to worry about, okay? You don't have to worry about it. However, though, some of y'all, love spell, what? It just keeps getting juicier and juicier. Let the honey of your soul swell in the depths of love. Especially if you're going to be making these magical drinks for peeps, you know. Something is not right now attracting in like the sweetest of honeys at the moment. I don't know. What is this? This can be gossiping with someone, but for some of you this feels like some kind of something you might be posting. Just might not be attracting if you're not creating out of your expression, if you're creating out of what the world expresses, what you seem to think is accepted by the world, you're gonna attract in not your ideal. You know what I mean? You're gonna attract whatever is attractive. So, just like if there's somewhere you're not authentically expressing yourself, and you also have some things in your life that you're like, why is this here? Like, if I could choose, why would this be here? Type of vibe. Just kind of like overlook that a little bit. Or this can even be like deciding not to share some art, or like holding yourself back from like sharing or expressing openly. Things can also get kind of like confusing in that regard too. So just be genuine. Okay, be genuine. Ooh, bakery. Oh, with squirrel medicine. Hold up. Take the time to diligently practice and refine your craft. Success will follow as you savor each little victory along the way. Also, with this, like, don't, whatever this is, you got your, like, expressing. Don't feel like it has to be perfect before you give it a chance. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Because there's going to be a lot of drafts before one that you're super like, oh my gosh, wait, actually, it's kind of feel like you the drafts, like, they're not going to be failures, by the way. I know people hate to hear, like, oh, you're gonna have to try a bunch of times before you get it super right. You're gonna be learning things along the way, so there's no, like, speeding up and all of a sudden, like, it's excellent and perfect. You just have to start creating and sharing, if that is what this is. This could be different for some of y'all, but for a lot of y'all, this feels like creating, like, whether this is your drinks, you got your little, I don't know, some of y'all did just pick up a job, like, as a barista or something, but definitely, like, have compassion with yourself and let yourself just enjoy the process of creating, because that, when you start getting into it, that's what's gonna kind of lead you to your style and to the energies it is you do want to attract. Maybe you don't really know that right now, like the exact energies you want to attract, and that's why things are like kind of like just kind of scattered all over, but you just get into it. It's the learning period that is needed right now. Our floor card of the day. Let's check. Do you want to guess? Tea party? Did you guess that? An escape is inviting in the enchantments that seek to come alive. I'm excited. And you also have tranquility here. That's a great sign. I'm excited with these magical roots you've been growing, and you've also been like stinks, but you've been like collecting a bunch of bullshit. You just been collecting a bunch of bullshit on your way around town, your way around life, and that's not like something that's gonna be useless. That's not something that is like a burden to you. How people have showed up for you, what people have said to you, is kind of like shaping how you view the world and what you want to add to it, what you want to reflect, you know? Knowing what you don't want to reflect is a very powerful thing. Otherwise, you'll kind of be reflecting all kinds of things because you don't really know what you want to reflect, you know? it feels like you got your toes in a lot of biz, you know? And this does feel like, because you're kind of growing back your whimsy magical roots, so you're kind of like dipping in here, dipping in there, getting a little bit of inspiration over here, which is great. Like, this is the period you have been meaning to be in, but now, you know, you're kind of like a disco ball right now, reflecting a bunch of different things, and you got all these sparkles everywhere in this really dark room, and you get a glimpse of the corner over there and a glimpse of the corner over there. But it's all so sudden and quick that it's really hard to tell where you're at. Focusing in a little bit smaller, like maybe this next week picking some goals of yours, some specific ones, and not too many. Like, we're not talking like more than 3 here. The fewer the better right now, because you kind of want a bright light so you can focus in on where you're, you know what I mean, to tell where you're at, to tell where you're headed. So focus on less this next week and have a lovely little tea party.